Yo, 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 what is up, guys? Aiden Smith here with the Paint Your Path podcast. We got the boys back.
Let's
Joe
go.
Mercado, what's going on?
What up, my man? It's been a minute.
Yeah, man. Contractor Excellence webinar has been holding it down.
Yes, indeed.
Dude, shout out to those guys, man. They allowed us to publish it, make it public. That
Yep.
was supposed to be just for your guys, you know?
Yep.
So, who wouldn't want to get sauce from, the leaders in the industry?
100%.
So, the fact that we were able to be a vehicle for that,
It was fun, man.
we're doing it, bro.
It was fun, man. I appreciate you guys too. It's been it's such a blessing to be able to have a group like us and just be like, hey, man, this is my idea. You want to run with it? Yeah. Like everybody was like, yeah, let's do it. When is it,
bro?
So it's super fun.
It's funny because at the end, these guys, they're made. They got it.
Mm-hmm.
They're just like, look, man, use it. Who cares? And then I'm at the end, shamelessly plugging myself. Guys, join my course. But hey, it is what it is. It's fun.
Man.
It's good value.
Absolutely, brother. What's been new with you, man? I know you and I are catching up on the private note, but it was more on me. But what's new with you? Catch everybody up, and what's up, man?
Bro, I have been going back and forth with kind of switching up the coaching a little bit, man.
Okay.
And I don't want to get too into it, but the gist of it is the way it was set up, it was really geared towards guys that were extremely ready, right? Mm-hmm. Right timing, right mindset, had the money, and just needed to pour gas on the fire, or they had nothing. There was no in between. So we're kind of switching things up to a little bit longer term instead of a sprint to the finish line. It's going to be a little bit more coddled. And I think I'm going to be able to serve a lot more people, open the doors up, right, to kind of grow this thing. And I got a lot of guys wanting to jump on board and help out. So I'm like, dude, this is perfect timing. We've grown it for a little bit now, but we're at a crux now. And we're like, all right, we got to go this way or this way. And I think we had a call yesterday. It was very, very productive. And we're excited.
That's awesome, man. I got a few guys that DM me. They're like, hey, I'm waiting to hop on Aiden's program. And I'm like, dude, I don't know everything, but when you're ready, do it. Don't wait, dude. I tell these guys all the time. It's it's so funny because then people are like, they're talking to you and they're saying they're jumping into Aiden's coaching. I'm like, yeah, we have such a cross. There's people that do your processes and then they hop on board with me. And then there's people that are with me and then they hop on with you. And it's super cool to see how eclectic it is and how it's helped all of our clients literally.
Oh, yeah.
Going between both you and I and then excelling. It's why not?
Yeah. And it's so different too, right? You guys, as far as what I've seen, I've came in a couple of your calls, book club, school, the individual calls for specific leadership things. And I'm blown away going in there. And I'm like, everybody that comes out, they're like, this was fire. Joel was on one. Holy shit. I'm just like, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, man.
I love the book club. I got in there and I was able to kind of figure that out because I'm not the biggest reader. So it's good. I need that.
I had to do it, man, because it's that's everyone always asks what's my process. It's the books.
Mm-hmm.
It's that simple. It's the books.
Yeah. It's your shortcut to life, bro.
Mm-hmm.
What have you been up to?
Man, there's so many different things too on my end. Got a new PM in Phoenix. Super excited about that. He's helped develop other painting companies grow to 10 million plus in sales from ground up. And he's only been with us 3 days. And dude, it's freaking crazy. Some people call them change orders, upsells. Every single job he's touched, he's found something, whether it's chalking on the stucco, something that was missed by the sales rep or the customer declined it at the time. And he still came in and fixed it and said, hey, I still recommend you doing it. Or as simple as an interior, paying attention to the customer, smokes inside the interior and recommending, primer to prime the walls because they're smokers and they're moving out and they're selling the house. Those details that most people don't talk about. He's coming in already with experience and just boom. And I'm like, oh,
dude, it's crazy.
It's crazy.
Most companies don't do change orders like that.
That's
right.
Wild.
They try not to upsell. It's oh, I got the project. That's enough. Hey, let's execute. Let's try to make the margins we can. And then having that PM just assess the lay of the land. Hey, I think we can do this X, Y, and Z, or would you be interested in this? And now you're upselling, you're making more money. It's profitable. The PM is, contributing more, paying for his own salary in a way, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
those are all things that you guys need to be doing. And it's huge. We've done that with the interior designer lately. She goes
Ooh.
in, she
Yeah.
starts
Yeah.
talking, getting them in that mode of like, okay, this would look nice. And she's like, hey, I really would recommend you to do the ceiling in the same color. And they're just like, let's do it,
Yeah. Yeah.
So we've seen something similar, but like, yeah, change orders are slept on, bro.
Yeah.
Big time. People see it as
Facts.
like a commercial thing, but no, it can happen in residential, right? It's like you can upsell at the sale, right? For paint and different processes, or you could just go in there and say, hey, this is what I think you should do,
Yeah. The cool part too is like this guy's bringing, you got to remember, like, I've heard of these things in our industry, right? But like I'm also taught one way and I've just stuck to what I've learned. And he's like, we're going to do pre-walks. And I was like, what do you mean? And I remember Peach talking about this once. I think he mentioned that at his organization, they do like pre-inspections. Like he has a PM that goes to the job before the job starts to just, check how many gallons they really need and foresee issues before they become them. Maybe check on the sales rep and make sure that there's something that didn't get missed in their production meeting. So our new guy, his name is Dustin. Shout out Dustin. Hopefully he's listening to this one day. Our new guy, he said that that's what he does. So I'm really excited to see how that's going to help that business out there, and then maybe put that in every other one that I have. Because we don't do that. We go off of the production meeting based off the photos, based off what the sales rep tells us. And then obviously we have our what we call a PTA form. It's called a prior to arrival form. We know what sheen goes where.
Which is gas.
Dude, that's
I love that. When I saw that, I was taking notes. I'm like, I'm stealing this.
Yeah, man, I'll send it to you, brother. So it's that helped us a lot in COVID, right? Because do you have any contractors, any gate codes, any lockbox codes, things that would slow us down, right? But this pre-walk, he's like, dude, I remeasure it with the wheel. I make sure that, hey, we're basing it off of the square footage, not based off of, the square footage of the home itself, but like paintable square footage. Right. And I'm like, dude, like you need to get with Aiden. Like you guys will hit it off. Like, so nice. I can't wait to have you guys talk. It's going to be fun.
We'll get them on the pod one day or something, right?
Yeah.
Dude, that's good. And I think it's also cool, right? Because we're so involved with so many people like in the painting industry, and obviously you're attracting high level guys just because of who you are and what you've built. But like, when you get a guy in there that has experience with, I think you said he had an 8-figure company at one point. Yeah. He's bringing all his processes to you and you're just like, done. Sounds good. I'm in. And now you're teaching other people that is kind of the underlying hidden thing people don't think about, right? Not only is the community that we kind of are a part of important when you work with us, but also the amount of things we know. So like I can hop on a call and you can do the same thing with somebody and just know you need to do X, Y, and Z right now. You're missing out on your business. One call could change people's businesses with us, right? So like just having so much understanding of all these different processes and all these different perspectives and how this business set up versus this and how it all works together is like probably the most underrated thing you get when it comes to working with us,
Yeah.
And it's huge.
100%.
That's good, man. Dude, I have a couple topics I want to kind of go over.
Let's do it.
This kind of ties into the process of like the sale and the production of things, not necessarily the production, but definitely the sale. Talk about the pre-sale and how important that is. And all the way back to the pre-qual, the before they even, meet or talk with any of you guys, like how important is that journey to setting your sales guy up for success? Because your sales guy moves numbers, right? He's a beast. We all know that. But like, I'm sure that he relies on certain things to happen before he gets there. Maybe I'm wrong. I just want to get your take.
No, that's absolutely. He relies on a lot of things. So my office in San Diego, we're really big about pre-qualification, of course, right? We started off with scripts, but now it's to the point our office knows exactly how to flow with the conversation, make it feel more of a conversation versus a checklist, right? But like key points that we talk about, right? We have gated communities out here. I coach so many people that don't even ask, hey, do you have a gate code? Right. How long is your guy sitting outside calling the customer, literally waiting to get in? It's just derailing their whole day just off of not having a gate code. our receptionist asks, square footage of the home. And it does two things for us. If the customer immediately tells you the square footage, they've either done a project before, they most recently purchased the home, or they're recently selling the home, because most people just don't know their square footage
like
if they
that.
didn't do that, right?
Yep.
Those are like key points that tells us like, okay, they've either done projects or things like that. So we always ask square footage. We also ask details. Hey, if it's an exterior, excellent. Are we doing doors, fascia, gutters, downspouts? Like we're so detailed so that the customer visualizes like, oh, I didn't even think about those items. Like, do you have shutters? Do you have a screen door? Are we doing retaining walls? Like we try to get as much data as possible so that we're kind of what we call in the psychology world, we call it priming.
Yeah,
So
they're like selling themselves, right? It's
yes,
like, oh dang, I have to add that. Oh, that's another couple $100 or whatever the case may be, right? So kind of
yes,
lessens the blow. Wow, that's interesting. I
yeah,
like that.
gates, right? Because out here we have a lot of like side gates. They have
Yeah.
panels that warp and stuff like that. So we kind of just get in their head already, like, hey, we're gonna say these things there anyways. Can we get a little bit more of that data? And then interiors, same thing. How many bedrooms? So how many bathrooms? Are we doing ceilings, walls? Like, are we doing an interior, the full interior? And we already train our receptionists to be like, are we doing cabinets as well? Like things that people aren't thinking
You're
about.
already upselling ahead of that. Oh my gosh,
100%.
that's
Like
good.
ahead.
Yeah.
And what's cool is we're really not on the phone that long. It's enough to go, oh, perfect. You want to get an estimate? We want to start the date first, right? Once we get the date locked in, hey, this is the day we can get you in. Then we start qualifying the questions, right? Because it also allows us to know. I'm not trying to jump around too much, but like we do 1.5 hour estimates. So they're always 1.5 hour. My guys do 4 to 5 estimates a day. And then with that 1.5 hour, we have it timed so much that we can just be in within 30 minutes in our process. And a lot of people take an hour. So I get that. But we give us our extra time just in case. But our process is, if you got pre-qualified so well in the beginning anyways, customers already don't have that many questions. They've already been answered, right?
For sure.
It's just us coming in now and giving them the information they need and then the price, right? We also have right now we raised our lowest amount that we'll take is 1,500.
Job size minimum. Nice.
Yeah. So our job size minimum is 1,500. So we tell them that immediately. So if there's any stucco repairs or anything like that, we always just say real quickly, hey, just we have a job site minimum. It's $1,500. Is that okay? Yes. Okay, great. Boom. Now we know also we're not setting them up for just like a one retaining wall that would only cost $500 or whatever. We're not wasting time. So that also eliminates those type of estimates out of the way. And then if we're like in the summer or the winter time, we lower that job site minimum on purpose.
Sure.
Because we know, give us the opportunity. Let my guy get out there and we'll upsell it when we're done.
We'll just upsell.
Yeah. Because it's like, we're not that picky, but in the seasons we're busy, 1,500 minimum.
That's funny. Yeah, the reason I wanted to cover that because you just did the sales webinar, and I felt like I obviously did the pre-qualification, but I wanted to kind of expand on that and see what you did as well. Just because like people sometimes they'll implement certain sales techniques and it'll work, but it's not like the big gap that they want it to be kind of filled. And it's like, well, you're also missing this other part of it, right? You're not setting yourself up for success as well as you should be. So it's like go a little deeper. Figure out what works for your area, what different things you kind of have to bring up to them, right? Like in Florida, I'm talking about different things than you would be in California. So like you just have to figure that out for yourself in order to have an effective closing rate, right? Like the best guys are supported by a great team, great brand, right? All those things contribute to a high closing rate,
Dude, 100%. And here's one question I'm going to say real quick and see what your reaction is to this. How many people do you coach that don't even ask, how soon do you want this project done on the first call?
All the time.
Right?
100%.
Like, that's so important for us because when we see ASAP on our schedule, my sales rep is already talking to my production team saying, hey, can we fit this in? This says as soon as possible.
Tomorrow,
he's already
next day.
Preparing. Yeah. That way he can come in and say, hey, the soonest I can get you in is on this time. I've already moved things on our schedule so we can accommodate you moving into your home. Like a lot of people don't realize how important that is. And then if something's like, oh, we're not ready for another 5-6 weeks, who do you think we're going to prioritize in terms of schedule?
Yeah,
That appointment that said ASAP, right?
exactly.
So those are key points that people need to focus on.
I love that, bro.
Yeah.
Cool, man. I got another one. All right. So actually, expanding on that and kind of the upsell, because I love this topic. I was talking to a business owner, and one of his competition, they do a lot of volume work, and I mean like 50 plus jobs a week.
Wow.
Right. And they only do exteriors, and what they do is they sell like mass marketing, and they already price it out, and they say, hey, it'll be $2,000 to do your exterior, and then you look at it and you're like, holy crap, sure, I'm in. They call, the person comes out, and it's all upsells. Oh, you want a different color? Okay, well, we have to tint the primer now, so blah, blah, blah. Okay, these cracks and whatnot, that's going to add an extra blah, blah, blah. So now it's like, okay, it was 2K. They're selling it now at 38, 4K, but they're still there, able to close, and they're able to do like a lot of volume work based on that. So like getting in the door at that lower kind of like entry and then going up and kind of assessing. I just thought that was like a cool case study, you know?
Yeah.
That kind of works with this. That was cool.
Dude, that would be you would have to really train your sales reps really well to get them to do that kind of work.
It's a whole system, right?
Yeah.
It's like, no, that's the base. If you want this, it's this, right? But you're already there, and like sometimes that's all you can ask for is the opportunity, you know.
100%. I love that.
Another thing that I've found that has came up over the past few weeks is some guys are too attached to the craft, right? It's like they know how to do it in their head, and they're like, look, if it ain't up to my level, I don't even want the job. And it's kind of hurting them, right? Because the customer doesn't even want that much, right? Or that level of, they don't even know what to expect. You're educating them.
Yeah.
So I just look at some of these guys that say, hey, I am too much of a crafts person, and that's my bottleneck, instead of looking at it as a business and like, hey, I got to feed the guys on my team. Yeah, does that make sense?
100%. I actually talked about this a long time ago.
Really?
The episode that I'm in with Andy Elliott, that I did that podcast, I talk about the difference from a craftsman painter to one that needs to be coached to provide food for their employees and their families. And I said, there's nothing wrong to be a craftsman, because I know I get hate when I talk about numbers and businesses, because people don't hear the full interview. They just see a clip online. But the reality is this: at the end of the day, I am not knocking on the crafts, because let me tell you something, when I have time to do my own projects, I'm super meticulous, very particular. It needs to be precise. It needs to be perfect. But that's when I'm doing it at my own house, on my own time, and things like that. When you have a business, you know, and you have 20 employees, that's going to slow you down pretty quickly, right? Yeah. And I think if you can combine someone who understands your process and you get them to sell your products for you so you can get out of your own way, right? And you can still teach your teams. I think it's a positional thing, right? Where that craftsman type style painter owner should remove himself from the sales process, teach his salesman the paint process of how he wants it sold, and then him coach the people. And I think that person is the right fit for the people. And then the salesman now can just get the money in, get the business going to where it needs to be. And I think it's a win-win that way.
Yeah. I like that you said that, because a lot of times, I mean, these craftsmen are a little bit older, right? Because they've been in it so long, and to convince them otherwise is a game that's not worth playing. But like replacing them, getting somebody else in there with different perspective, that now he can kind of take the reins, and he's going to see the results and be like, wow, you are selling jobs. Holy crap. And then it's like, I was in the way the whole time. Right. So I think also, you know, something I tell people all the time, you only have to deliver on 80% of your promises, because the rest will be done by your values, you know, your kind of subconscious, the way you react to things. Like we're people that we're going to make sure that if there's any worries or qualms with the customer or whatever's happening, we're going to come to the rescue and save the day if needed. Right. So
100%.
That extra 20% is not only that, but like sometimes it's luck of the draw, right? Like you get a customer that's just super lenient, right? And it just understands like, hey, you guys are doing the best you can, you know, but then you get some that are kind of like, you know, those ready to do that bad review based on nothing, which stings. But dude, that's part of the process. You know, it's going to happen.
Yeah, man.
It's like ripping a band-aid off. Like the other day, I go in on the job. I try to stay away from the jobs, honestly, because
Yeah.
I only get in the way. When I go in, I'm pointing. I'm like, hey man, like you guys got to do X, Y, and Z. But in reality, they keep getting 5-star reviews. They keep hitting the margins. They're happy with the payout. So I'm like, why do I even have to mess with anything, right? Like I go to this job the other day and they got a ladder on the carpet with no tarp under it, just cutting
Mhm.
in. And I'm just like, why did I come here?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking the customer's like gonna be, super sick, upset, like, So I go check in on them and they're just like, oh, you guys are doing a fabulous job. They're so nice, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like scaring myself, even though that is the wrong way to do it.
Mhm,
It's
mhm.
like sometimes I just gotta let them, if they mess up, and then they'll know next time
Yeah.
that's not the right play.
Dude, it's so funny. I literally, before I changed out for the podcast, I was at 2 job sites this morning
Yeah.
and got 2 new guys. They've been with us for over a month. Never met them a day in my life. I'm just watching. I'm talking to the foreman. I'm just like, can you go tell them to
Holding your
fix
breath.
that and
Yeah.
do this and do that? Because if I do, I'll be here for an hour and I'm gonna be like, ah.
Exactly, bro.
I'm
I,
like, dude, I shouldn't be here either.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
I actually made a video about this. Like, hey, you should visit the job sites less. Your business will be better off.
yeah,
You could
yeah.
focus on better things. And also, you can figure out somebody, if you need to, put in a position to manage them.
Hmm.
Right. So it's kind of one of the things you got to figure out. Another topic I wanted to cover was the hiring of that guy, right? Like
Hmm.
waiting to pull the trigger on the perfect fit, on the perfect guy. I got a guy right now. He's doing 180,000, most money he's ever made in the coach, from joining the coaching and whatnot. But now he is so overwhelmed because he did not pull the trigger on the PM when we discussed.
Mm,
So he didn't, maybe because he'd been in the industry for a long time and just didn't think it was going to come in like it did. But I was telling him, like, look, this is what's going to happen. You're spending this much. This is how it works. And he didn't pull the trigger. So, like, what are the
yeah,
thoughts of people trying to get it perfect, not just with a PM, but just on any position?
yeah. It's funny. I'm preparing that for the school community tonight. Is making decisions now instead of waiting for perfection, right? Because by the time you figure out if they're the right person or not, anyways, at least you got things going and it's buying you back some time. And then you're also learning in the process of what you don't want to do when you do have the right person.
Yeah.
So I even spoke about that yesterday. Is like I realized when I onboarded a really great painter who was a foreman, but he's also a craftsman himself.
Sure.
I was like, oh man, like I looked within and I'm like, I don't have an onboarding process for a PM. The onboarding process is up here. But the difference that what I do is I don't worry about that. I hire people and I'm just like, let's
Mm-hmm.
go. Right. But then the learning lesson that I got from there was like, oh, I need to build an onboarding process because it's up in my brain. It's not on paper.
Yeah.
So the cool part is they're producing, they're moving things for you. It's getting you to do what you need to do. And you're still going to learn through the process versus going, now I'm slowing down my business. I'm
Yeah.
stressed out. I'm overwhelmed and I'm still waiting for that next person. It's actually a loss by waiting on that
For
decision.
sure.
So that's how I look at it.
Even if you can get some time back, right? That'll
Mm-hmm.
give you a little bit more time to still recruit, right? Still just
Mm-hmm.
have an idea that this potentially couldn't work out because you know how it is. Your first hire, a lot of times, it's probably not going to work out. It's just the
Yeah.
reality of it, right? Especially early on in the business. So just to have a little bit of time, yeah, you're going to have moments where you're stressing, you're pulling your hair out and whatnot, but like it's so important. That's why I love subs too, right? Because
Yeah.
it's so much easier to get a ready to go, vetted sub 3-man crew than it is to train up one singular painter from the ground up and
Mm-hmm.
hope that he works out. And you're hoping on the sub too, but you kind of get what I'm saying with that. And
Yeah.
that's my personal preference. People don't like that sometimes, but at the end of the day, you don't like it until it works for you,
Right.
and you're seeing the dough rack in and you have a big project that you can't afford to lose and they can do it tomorrow,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
best.
It
Nothing
is the
better, bro.
best.
Nothing
Yeah,
better.
man.
And if I judged my experience off the first time I had subs, it'd be the worst. I would never go and get subs again. But like in reality, I've learned that a lot of times it takes one or two to get on the same page.
Yep.
You're gonna mess up at first. Something's gonna go wrong. Okay, cool. Second one, This is actually what happened to me too recently. Second
Uh-oh.
time they messed up, but we got the review. We saved the day. Third one, good. Fourth one, good. And it was like, all right, we got it now. But if I would
Yeah.
have given up, I would have been like out of crew, with a
Mm-hmm.
big gap. So
And you'll
it's
have other
interesting.
stresses, and then your work's going to get too busy, or your sales
Yeah,
goes down because you don't feel like you can produce it. People
100%.
don't realize like how much that affects every angle of your business. It really does. And it's important to understand that when you make the decisions now, again, they're all learning experiences. Like, it's okay.
Yeah,
You'll figure it out. And if not, you reach out to Aiden and I will take care of
dude. And the subs thing,
you.
like Hey Pros, they've built an entire app around it.
Yeah, I
Like,
heard about that.
I'm sure you tell people all the time, like, have subs available. Like,
Mm-hmm.
even if you're not using them, and even if you're meeting with them and you don't have something next week, just say, look, projects are coming. We're spending, or whatever talk track you want to use to say that they're coming. We pay out in this way and blah, blah, blah. But just have them ready, have them excited. And as soon as they get the call, they're ready.
Yeah.
Might be a little, conflict of dates and trying to figure that out. But like at the end of the day, once they get started, don't let them go. Keep it rolling with them. Because once they get a gap, they're going to be like, oh, sorry, I'm with this other company. And you're going to be
Yeah.
sick
Yeah,
big
man.
time.
Yeah, I like that. I've heard of
Yeah.
Hey Pros. I haven't been on it yet, but I know someone that uses it, and it's really cool just so that you can continue to show them, hey, I got this work. Do you guys want it? And it's
Yep.
like a revolving door. It's pretty cool too. Like, dude, this topics, I love the fact that you're asking these because like I'm literally just like yesterday
So good.
talking about a lot of this. I was talking about, hey, who do you have on the bench? Right.
Mm.
On my call last night. And I was like, when you watch the NFL team, they don't have one quarterback.
Yeah.
How many quarterbacks do they have? Why is that different for our businesses, right? Like we go, okay, we have 3 crews. We're super happy with that. Well, what happens when you get more work? What happens when someone falls off? What happens if someone quits? Then you're like scrambling, right?
100%.
You got to build the bench. And when
Yeah.
you build the bench, you're always prepared. And I think that's a valuable lesson for people to understand.
Yeah. I get messages all the time. Hey, I'm looking for work, Aiden. I'm like, you sub? And they're like, yep. And I'm like, all right, cool. I'll be in touch.
Yeah.
I'll be ready,
Yeah,
So
man.
definitely you need that. I need that with another editor right now. We got a whole bunch of content sitting out there, and I'm like, dude, we need to figure this out. So I need
Yeah,
another
yeah, yeah.
bench player. I don't need another VA. We got enough of those, but I need just like a little backup gig for somebody.
Yeah, yeah.
Something. It's funny. All right, cool. I mean, I got topics, bro. I can keep
Yeah,
going if
let's
you want.
start spitting them, dude. I love it.
Okay.
I feel like freestyling. This is the best way to doing it.
All right,
Yeah.
and this can be coaching or painting business, but let's talk about social presence and how important that is. I
Mm.
have some thoughts, but I'd love to hear kind of what you
Yeah.
think.
2 parts, right? Like obviously what I do social wise, it's built for coaching purposes, right? But then
Mhm.
it also helps my businesses because people see me as an authority, so to speak. And then they go, oh, you have businesses? What business do you have? And that allows me to plug and play higher level people
Yeah.
off that. But if you flip it on the other side, well, this is a good example. Like today, my guy doing pest control at my house, he's like, dude, I saw you on TikTok. I was like, I know that guy.
Let's
Right.
go.
So it's like, that goes to show you, like,
Yeah.
even my pest control guy who's doing my house, I'm leaving to go check on a job. He's super pumped to
That's
just know
awesome.
that he services my home and he sees me on TikTok. Right.
Yeah.
So I think it's huge. I think it's a big deal. I could tell you stories upon stories. Like
Yeah.
Halloween, we had obviously we have like a fire pit in front of my driveway in my house here, and the kids come up to my driveway. And this last Halloween, everybody's like, dude, multiple people. Oh, I saw your ad on TikTok. I saw your ad on Facebook. Another person's like, hey, I see you on my Instagram all
It's
the
huge.
time. So it's like the presence of where we're living in now, it's so big. And that's why I loved what you posted the other day about like, hey, what does your presence look like? Because people are looking at that. Perception in our world now is everything. When you pull up in a wrap truck and it looks professional, they're still going to choose you over someone else they still saw value in.
Yep.
But because they're like, okay, if this guy went, or gal, right, went out of their way, did this professionally, they have yard signs, they have great reviews, their online presence is consistent. What is my job site going to be like?
Yep.
Right? Like, if they're
Keyword.
consistent, right?
Consistent, bro.
Exactly,
I
man.
mean, honestly, you're probably one of the most consistent guys when it comes to socials across the board.
Yeah, yeah.
Also your companies, right? Like over in Arizona, Joey, right?
Joey's crushing it,
My
man.
man just be
Yeah.
posting all the time, and I love it.
Yeah.
It's like it's gotten better every time, right? When I
Yeah.
first seen him, I'm like, okay, Joey, let's
Yeah.
go. And then
Yeah.
it's like, oh, we're now doing Venetian plaster on this wall. Look at this, guys. And he built into that, and he
Yes.
earned that, right? Now he
Yeah.
has authority, credibility. People are looking kind of on the sidelines, and they're like, holy shit, look at that. I'm in.
Yeah.
Let's do it. I already know the guy from watching him, but it's because he put in the reps just
Dude.
every day.
100%. And shout out to his wife, dude, because his wife really is behind the scenes.
Oh, nice.
So like, but when we first started Phoenix, he didn't want to be on the camera at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was like, absolutely not. Like I don't want to. Like let me sell. He's a good sales guy. But he bought in, and now he's seeing how that's helped us out organically, right?
Yeah.
Like there's people that I've never even met, and they're like, dude, who's this guy in Phoenix? And they don't even know we're associated.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, that's my business partner. They're like, oh, you're one of the owners there? I'm like, yeah, you don't see my face there because I'm not the face of the company.
Mm-hmm.
Joey is. And it's built by design that way, right? And dude, wait till you see what we're gonna do, man. We're doing some different stuff, man.
I love that.
Real fast, like our new wrap, our whole design, we went with like this cool color gradient when you first saw our Phoenix in the beginning. But now we're in Arizona, they're really big about 2 colors. That's it. It's like
I heard that
branding thing out there that like people like wrap their vehicles. They only do 2 colors. It's either white with their logo or black with their logo. And it just stands out more. So that's like the trend out there, right? Mm-hmm. So now we completely, if you notice, the Phoenix is just completely orange. We don't have that gradient colors anymore. And it's starting to become a huge brand now like that.
Good.
And we're wrapping. I usually do those like decals, but now we're just going all in on our wraps now. Yeah. And it's been working super big time for us now, man.
Dude, I did the same thing with the wrap. All bright yellow. Because I worked for CertaPro. I'm not going to rewrite the book. These guys know what the hell they're doing. Like, it sticks out, right? I actually had a guy before because I would drive it home, right? A big van. Looked like a big yellow blob. That's what he called it, this guy. He's like, can you move? And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, I don't want a big yellow blob outside my window. I'm like, here we go, dude. I was about to fight this old guy. And I'm like, all right, cool. But it just made me think like people are, even if they're annoyed by it, that's good. That's attention. That's eyeballs, right?
Yes.
So yeah, I got a second vehicle. We wrapped it. It looks awesome. I wasn't going to wrap my truck because I love my truck's red, but we might do something with the back. We'll see. But the wrap's the way to go. So if anybody's listening and they've been thinking about spending $3,000 to $5,000 on a wrap, just do it. You're going to get it back. Here's the cool part
though, man. Here's a hack for you guys. Don't get me in trouble, but go to your Sherwin rep and tell them, hey, can you at least help me with this first wrap, right? Like our Sherwin rep out there in Phoenix was like, I'll pay for the whole thing. So $4,000 wrap, boom, done.
No You're going to make me get on my Sherwin rep's ass because I didn't even think of that, dude.
Yeah.
And we've been doing good numbers, man. We've been doing good numbers. I checked with him and he's like, you guys been doing good, man. Killing it, exceeding expectations. I'm like, cool, man. Lower my prices.
Yeah. Dude, honestly, man, utilize your guys, your reps because – you know, we were 100% Dunn Edwards out there and the reps know the numbers. They talk and they're like, well, you guys are pushing numbers and like, what's up with this? You're not selling Sherwin. We're like, well, you don't show us any love. Why are we going to show you love? Right. This is a partnership. This isn't something that we're just like, oh, you know, like Dunn Edwards takes care of us. It's a partnership. And once they got a new DM, they just threw everything under the sun on us. They're going to help us out with billboards. They're going to help us out with wraps. So guys, please, like, do not take a no for an answer. Your reps will help you. And just remember though, it's a partnership though. Sure. Like, it's not like, hey, do this for me and that's it. And then you don't
commit to them.
Your end. 100%. Yeah.
Commit to them. Yeah. I'm making my rep take me to the Eagles game here in Tampa Bay.
There you go.
He's doing it this year. Last year he said, no, I understood. We just launched the business. This year he's doing it.
Nice, dude.
We're earning that.
No, I might have to fly out.
Yo, for real. That would be legendary.
Yeah, man.
With the social presence, one thing I've noticed too with the Joey thing, right? You guys are doing higher end custom work. You didn't have to, right? But it's by design because one, you know it's profitable. Two, you know
Mm-hmm.
it's going to crush online. And three, you got the guys that can obviously handle the work.
Yep.
And we took a similar approach out here, right? Because I was like, every house is so plain. Sure,
Yes.
I could just go and repaint houses and just change the color, but it's not going to be like that much more profitable than something that's more high end, more custom. So we started doing custom walls, right? A big thing we're doing right now,
Yeah.
whether it's wainscoting, boarded batten, panels, right? Wallpaper. And I asked my guy, and I'm like, can you do something like this? And he's like, we do it all. You know how they
Of
are.
course.
They're like,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah. Yeah.
ready.
Give it to me.
So yeah, we tested one out, killed it. Tested
Nice.
another, killed it. So I'm like, we're going all in on this. And now it's getting us into those nicer neighborhoods, right? Because these
Yes.
guys can't sell, right, and compete with us because we offer something different. And now we're taking an approach that we found success on Instagram because these, you know, you got like moms and whatnot
Mm-hmm.
on there, kind of just Pinteresting it up. So we're actually boosting posts. I know people come at boosting posts, but like we're specifically boosting posts on Instagram for these custom walls, and we're really excited about it. So we're going to be doing that.
Giving us the blueprint.
It's going to
Let's
be good.
go.
Yeah. You just got to
That's
figure out how to
awesome, man.
charge now. So you pay me for that.
Yeah. Right. 100%, dude. Love it.
That's
Dude, good for
funny.
you, man. When I saw the wrap, I was like, dude, watch. It's gonna make a huge difference in the business. It was immediate to me when I saw that, and I was like, dude, Aiden's gonna be like, dude, the wrap came clutch.
Oh, yeah. Oh, dude. For sure. You want to hear something funny today? So we had a little weird schedule. One of the crews, you know, day was off. So I'm like, you guys want to do door hangers, right? I'll give you a bunch of areas, go out, hand them out. So I left a big box on the side of my house. I'm like, come get them. Boom. They go out there, start handing them out. Later in the day, I just got done golfing and I get a call and they're like, hey, it's your neighborhood post office. I'm like, how you doing? And they're like, yeah, we've gotten a couple of complaints that you guys have been putting door hangers in the mailboxes. So I'm like, oh my
Yes.
gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm like, won't happen again or whatever. And then I'm like, I hope they're not just dumping it in the mailbox like that. Why would you do that? Just hang it on the
Yeah.
door. So I called him and he was like, oh, just a couple houses that had like no door handle or whatever. We just put them. There's like maybe 6 or 8. And but the lady was like, yeah, it's actually illegal.
It is. Yeah. I've been hit with that before too. So
Yeah. So I'm like, damn. All right. Well, note it. I did not know that.
yeah.
Sounds good. Even though they shouldn't have been doing it, but whatever.
Yeah. Certain areas too, you need a permit now to do door hanging.
Interesting.
So, yeah, you got to check the area, like what's the community, the state, the county, and then if now there's certain counties that you have to have a permit to door hang.
Mm.
So just for anybody that's out there that does it, like we don't door hang anymore, but
Yeah.
you know,
It's become our third highest way to get jobs, actually.
I don't doubt that.
Facebook website, and then we're still trying to get LSA, man. We need to figure that out. We're working on it.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, door hangers. What we do is some more sauce for you guys. What we do is whenever we own an estimate and they say, yeah, HOA's on my case. I already know the whole neighborhood, they're on their case, right? So my guys just go flock, right? And it's been working pretty well. They are a little bit more budget conscious because they don't want to paint. They're being forced to. So we're trying to figure out that hurdle. And then planning with an HOA is another thing. But financing has been a game changer for us, through DripJobs and Acorn. That has been awesome. It's gotten us a handful of deals in the last couple of months. So
that's awesome.
If you're not offering financing, Acorn Finance is huge. You don't even have to use DripJobs, but like they integrate really well. But through Acorn, there's no cost to you. They get multiple offers. They say yes, it's done. They get funded in 2 days. They can pay the deposit.
Wow, dude.
It's sick, dude. Sick.
That's awesome. That is game changer, man. Because like even if the people have the money, they still don't want to spend it. Yeah. So if they
just another option. Yeah. You want to give them options, and you want to make it so easy to work with you that they can't say no.
100%.
That's another thing to add to your closing rate, right? Add a couple percentages just with financing. That's good.
The little things, man.
All right, couple more topics, and bro, feel free to let me know if you got anything too. But you talked about this, and this is inspired by what you said. Enjoying the process, blocking out the noise. I know you're gonna run with this.
Yeah, man. I think we all kind of get caught up on the rat race, right? We're chasing money, we're chasing business, we're chasing scaling, we're chasing. And then we go, I feel burned out. I don't feel so good.
Yeah.
We're not reflecting. We stopped doing all the things that made us really thrive. We stopped having conversations with the people that we love or that help us really bring more energy. And, it's twofold, right? Like I was reminded by my mentor, he's like, dude, don't forget to have fun, And when he said that to me, I was like, yeah, well, that has been a long time. Right? Like the fun went out because the responsibilities just kept going and going and going. And then when I slowed down and I really listened to that, I was like, man, like you should have fun coaching your team because it's only going to make it better.
Yeah.
It's only going to buy you back more time. You should have fun going to a job site and correcting someone, even for a moment, because that one correction might be more impactful by you than their same leader they see every day over and over and over again. You should have fun talking to customers once in a while and just dial that phone a little bit, right? And just be like, hey, I know I haven't been on phones with clients in a while, but let me put a pulse on my business and find fun in that process, because what happens is you start to expose things you didn't think about, and it takes you out of that mundane process that you do every day. And it makes you really think of other things and see things differently. And that's where I started teaching is I never thought I'd be a painter, never thought I would have painting companies until I fell in love with the process. And I started seeing people grow within the company. I was like, wow, what a blessing. What an opportunity to give to other people. And who better than I? And I say this respectfully. I don't mean this in a bad way. But I go, if I believe in coaching, I believe in teaching, then who better than I to be the one doing it for these people, knowing that other painting companies don't do that at all. And
Dude,
fell in love with that. And ever since then, it's been like, that's why I love our community. That's why I'm like, painters are the best. Period.
Yeah.
Like,
dude, I love that. And I also have something to say to that, right? Because like you said, right, you kind of earn the ability to do this based on trials, tribulations, kind of the person you are, the bookworm you became, and getting a high level mentorship and just applying all these things and being a human guinea pig, right? Like literally what you teach is what you do and whatnot. And it's like, how can these other guys come up and become coaches, right? Like it is possible, yes, but like how many times do you see guys out there that can do it, right? Like we just had somebody join our coaching as a coach, right? And I have faith that it will pan out and he's going to be great. He has an awesome business, great guy. I think he's one of like the cooler guys like that I've met lately. So super happy to have him on board, but he did his first call with alone. He did his first one with me, like coaching with me. I held his hand through the whole process. And then now I'm saying, hey, you're on your own. Handle it. And he called me after the first one. He's like, you make it look easy, bro. And I'm sure, bro, that like people think, oh, yeah, I could do that. I could be a coach. And then they get in there and they're like, damn, there's a certain amount of skills you need, bro, to do this stuff, man. Like even the things that are so nuanced that people have tied up in their life, business, and we have to give them advice to navigate through that. That's a tough task to do. And you need to have balls. Right?
Man.
You need to have balls. It's really tough.
Well, a lot of people don't. They fear how they're going to respond. But that's what a coach is. Like coaches don't like. I don't remember ever being an athlete and doing things back in the day with sports. I've never had a coach tell me something nice. They're like, dude, what? Like, get up and go get it. Like. They were the fuel to me to not have any excuses, to build the discipline and push me to the finish line. Like I've never had a coach just be like, oh man, you did it good today, buddy. Like, good job. When it wasn't, it was like, no, dude, get up, dust yourself off and go get it done. Here's the pathway. Go get it. And, when it comes to us coaching clients right now, they have to understand it's like, dude, like I'm probably one of the nicest. Like when people really get to know me, they're like, dude, you're just super nice. You're just caring. I'm so calm. I'm very patient. I'm very, very patient. But when I'm coaching, I'm going to pierce through your soul because I know I needed that when I was struggling. Like I needed someone to tell me the truth, not, hey man, you're doing good. No. That actually makes it worse because you're not only I don't want to say it like this, but you are lying in a sense, because you're leading them now to believe something that's not true.
Mm.
And they are their own reason why they're an obstacle, because everyone else around them is also telling them, good job, man. Like, why do you need more? Why do you need to do this? And those conversations trick you. And then you get a coach like Aiden and I, and we're like, listen, this is what you need to do. This is what it's going to take. I know it sounds harsh, but that's what it is.
Dude, it's kind of like it's kind of like subtle bullying.
Yeah, a little bit.
Like, I'm so great. Like, I only think about that or said that because I thought about like when I was growing up, who got me in check, right? Because I wasn't in a ton of sports. I didn't have a ton of like coaches like, let's go. I always think to my brother, and just like when I did stuff that was out of character. Like, I only did it because this other guy did. Like, as a kid, it's like, oh, we see this. Oh, let's just do it. And he would check me. He'd be like, Aiden, what the hell are you doing, bro? Like, that's not you. Like, stop. You're being a poser. You're doing this. And, like, I look back and I'm like, thank God. That helped me. Like, that helped shape who I was. Mm-hmm. So, like, you always look at those coaches, like you said, in those moments, it's tough. You want to fight back and you're kind of like, damn, this is, like, hard on me. But how many times do you see athletes look back and say, thank God for this coach, man. Like, I owe everything to this guy. You see that all the time, but it's because that interaction. It's because of that. Yeah,
that's awesome. 100%. You gotta. I want to leave a drop real quick on that point.
Yeah.
If you look at Aiden and I, when you're looking at us like face to face like this, imagine we're just being your mirror. Like, you look at the mirror, you see it, but sometimes we tell ourselves something else so that we feel better. Yeah. We're just being a mirror to you. What you need to hear and how you're going to get there in a better way. And maybe not even just a better way, a faster way, a safer way, so many other ways of it, right? Because we've already seen it. And again, when you look at it, we call it the man in the mirror or woman in the mirror. You got to be able to look at the mirror and just be okay with listening to the hard truth. When you do that, that's what changes your behaviors. That's what changes your business, your relationships, and everything else. So find yourself someone that could be the man or woman in the mirror for you, that you trust, that you know they're going to be honest with you. And that's it.
Yeah. And back to like the process and whatnot, right? And, you said enjoy it, right? Like, enjoy coaching your team. I think some people, and kind of, if I'm going off, let me know. But I think it also becomes their identity, their business. Right. They get really caught up in it. And you know how business is. It's up and down. Right.
Yeah.
Your bank account could be struggling, gasping for air. And then the next week it's like, fuck, oh, thank God. Like, I was just about to close this thing down. If it wasn't going to work out, it got saved. And it's like, and if your business and what you're doing is your identity and it's not looking good, how are you going to feel about yourself? Right. And what you're doing, because you don't think that you had it in you to bounce back from that and whatnot. And you had that lack mentality. Right. But it's because you were like, so like, for me, one of the things I've done recently was take time for myself, right? Like, I enjoy golfing. So I want to make time for golfing. So I'm putting it in my calendar occasionally to go golf. Yeah. And people are like, they're seeing me like on a Wednesday randomly golf, and they're like, this guy can't be building a business. He can't be like, his team probably doesn't have any jobs right now. He's golfing. And it's like, guess what? Because I have my things in order and I can time block and do things that I want to do, that's my decision. And we got into entrepreneurship to do the things we want to do in life, right?
100%.
And it's like, secondly, I like eating. So I critique food. I'm like a David Portnoy, right? I love to give reviews and like try new things, right? It's just always something I've done. And I finally started making videos and content about it. And it's been blowing up, bro.
That's awesome.
Like, that things that I'm like, I actually love doing. Like, don't get me wrong, painting business is great. Like, I like it. It's awesome. But like, I love this, right? I love golfing, even though I'm not that good. I just shot a 96, which is actually decent.
That's actually I hear that's really good.
But yeah, like the whole food thing for me, it was something else I can do that gives me joy, makes me not feel like my identity is just painting, right? And it's like, that is something that I think more people need to do. But the problem is they can unless they have their stuff at least a little bit figured out. Right?
Oh, 100%, dude.
If you don't have goals that you're on target for and hitting, and your team's not delegating tasks for you, you're not able to do those things, and you're going to be swimming forever in this, swamp of your business that's not set up correctly.
Dude, I'll say this very quickly for time purposes, but if I wasn't coaching 1-to-1, I wouldn't have a lot to do. And people do not believe me. I'm busier now because I'm coaching. You would think it's the opposite because of the businesses, but no, it's because I do a lot of 1-to-1 calls. That's why I'm busy. But if I wasn't doing 1-to-1 calls, I'd probably be in Florida golfing with you too, but man, like, you know what I mean? I'm like, the process is there. The people are there. They're checking in. I'm reading emails. Great. We're looking good. There's no fires. Awesome.
Exactly.
Take a couple calls here and there, coach a couple guys, boom, done.
Yeah.
That's really how it is in our businesses. We're just in the way, right? So if you're listening to this, remove yourself. Like literally, remove yourself, hire the right people, they'll do it. And you will be shocked by how much. Listen to Aiden. Aiden has literally, are you still operating in Philly still, or?
No, I closed that down officially.
That's actually good.
Yeah, it's a big weight off my shoulders. Yeah.
Exactly. So look, you're doing Florida. You have your own painting company in Florida. You put all your energy in there. You got your coaching program right now. You have this podcast too, right? And you still have time to go golfing. While there's people who've had a business for God knows how long.
Yeah.
They're still selling, production management, taking phone calls. They've probably been in business longer than you and I. And then they wonder how we did it. And we're telling them, but they still don't do it.
We're so extreme with delegation because we understand how important it is. You want to hear something crazy too that aligns with this whole thing? I mean, mind you, and you can probably say the same, I only spend 15 to 20 hours tops on the painting business, right?
Yeah.
Like right now, that's where I'm at, and we're doing fine, right? Love where we're at. I'm so crazy about delegation and seeing how I can just continue to keep buying my time back. We just partnered with a company, and I'll talk to you after the call about it.
Yeah.
It's called Hoist. You ever heard of it?
Hoist?
Hoist. No. Okay. So they came to the PCA. They bought a booth, and I know one of the guys that they use that works with them, and talked to them, and they told me what the setup is, and I'm like, wait. So you guys are going to sell the jobs for me, estimate them. I don't have to visit a customer, talk to a customer. You're going to act like you're my company on my behalf, and you're just going to send me a work order and say, this is landed. Go collect the check and do the work.
Shut up, dude.
And just take a cut.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm in.
Yeah.
So we just got on board it. We're setting it up. They're taking a few of our lead sources. We're going to keep Facebook and our main Google. They're going to take a couple others, and they're like, let us prove it.
It's a no-brainer, man. I'm like, where do I sign up? Send me the link,
It's insane, bro. And the cool thing is, like, now I can know that my guys are going to be more taken care of because we have another lead source working and another whole sales organization selling for us.
Yeah.
I mean, I hopped on with them, and you know how I am with estimating. Like, I'm like, all right, well, the numbers, they're probably going to be all over the place, right? Because how do you know exactly? So they were like, well, don't tell us your last interior estimate. Let's walk through it and just tell us all details. Gave them the address, what we were doing, blah, blah. They were within $50 of my estimate that we landed.
My gosh.
It's not like they're, pinching pennies to land jobs. It's incredible.
That is awesome.
I am not going to, like, advocate for them right now because I don't know the results and whatnot, but they were like, give us a chance.
Yeah.
And they were only taking on so many clients. They were shut down. I had to wait. So now they opened up. They were like, Aiden, you're at the top of the list. Let's do it. It's pretty cool.
You got to share with us, dude, when it gets done. That's going to be super sick, bro.
Yeah, I can't wait, dude. It's like a cheat code.
Dude, that's dope.
All right, last topic. I want to talk about kind of like long-term ownership plans. Okay.
Yeah.
So I have some thoughts.
Okay.
I myself, and I'm going to open this up to whoever's listening and anybody in the Orlando-ish, greater Orlando area. I'm telling you that I love my coaching. I built it to a place where I want to continue to do that. That's where I'm passionate. I want to build that out. That doesn't mean I don't want to build this painting business, but I have the foundation built right now, and we're taking it over the next year or two to places that I never even got to take my Philly business. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
But we're looking to grow, and we need flag carriers. We need people that are going to want an opportunity, whether you're an entrepreneur, not even in the painting industry, but you're just a good person that's looking for an opportunity. Reach out to me. I'm meeting with somebody right after this pod to just talk about stuff.
Yeah.
I'm looking for sales reps, project managers. I'm not gonna say potential ownerships because I got to know you and kind of, but like
Yeah. Yeah.
that's what's available right now down the line.
Wow.
You got to work for it. You got to kind of make it happen. But I mean, that's I'm trying to exit this thing fairly quick.
Yeah,
And
man.
right now, we've already built an ecosystem where we're getting repeat customers already. We have a
Wow.
ton of reviews, right? Like we are built. We have the best vendors that have helped us. We're
Yeah.
built on a concrete foundation. So it's like whoever wants to hop on early. I'm just putting that out there in the ether. We're gonna revisit
Yeah,
this
dude.
in maybe a year and just see where we're at.
Well, man, now that I know that, I'm gonna like anyone that pops in the pipeline. I'll push, coming your way and
Yeah.
stuff like that. It's awesome, man. Absolutely.
Yeah, bro.
You know how I am. I'm all about partnerships and ownership, and because when someone feels that they're a part of it and they have a piece of it, it changes efforts and buy-in, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm all about that. You know that.
Yeah, and I think you have a unique situation because not only do you have that opportunity with yourself in the near future with all the businesses you got, but you've actually helped a few people maybe
Yeah.
like get to that point where they have people buy in and kind of like walk through that process.
Yeah, yeah. I've actually helped a couple companies help them understand what that looks like, what's the process, and we're in the current state right now, right? We're doing a 90-day trial. I know it sounds weird. People are like, "What can you do in 90 days?" I could see a lot in 90 days.
For sure.
So we're hoping to give partnership in Phoenix and 25% ownership to whoever is going to step up to the plate, show us that they can do it. Like I told you earlier, we just hired a new PM. We're hoping that he's the guy. And so far in 3 days, he showed me more than I've seen in years. Right.
Wow.
So it's that enough to me is like, okay, great. But now we got to talk about leadership. We got to talk about, cohesiveness, culture.
Consistency.
We'll really see that in 90 days and we'll go from there. Right. But the cool part is when you have more people involved that are bought in,
Yeah.
you buy back more time and people still don't get that. Like, I can only do what I do. It's because of my partnerships. Could you imagine if it was by myself and I had 5 different companies and I tried running them that way and I have a bunch of managers just like coming at me only? It'd be a lot, right? So the partnerships is what drives these individuals to get you to your goals and theirs.
Yep.
You just show them the pathway.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. And then what an opportunity to hop on board with you, man, because you're such a process driven guy. The onboarding, the learning, the experiences, like people like don't wait.
Yeah, and I think we were talking about this a little kind of prior to the pod, but like right now, people are avoiding going to college and hoping for opportunities like this, right? With
Dude,
the right guys.
100%. It's my mentor told me, he's like, you'll never see an opportunity like this ever again in your life. And I believe him because it's like, who just, if you don't buy in, who hands you ownership?
Yep.
Right? First of all. And if it's a buy-in, it's a small one with a business that's already built and it already has a scorecard behind it and longevity and experience and all the above, dude, it's a no-brainer. Like, it's wild to me how people just are just asleep. It's wild.
Yeah, and like I said, right, it's like right now people out there are building businesses, right, or influencers, and they're kind of pitching, hey, buy old businesses or
Yes.
see where people are and see if you can. I know a handful of guys right now that are successful, grew 7-figure, sometimes 8-figure painting companies looking to exit, to have people come on board and show interest and make the numbers work and make sure everybody's happy, right? And it's like you can't find that anywhere else unless you know people are putting yourself out there to be available with that kind of thing.
Yep.
Right. So if you're somebody that doesn't have like the craziest background, but you have drive, you're willing to learn, you're a sponge, you have no leashes. I love that now. I use it all the time.
Yeah.
This is it, man. And both of us could probably point you into the right direction. If it's not with us, it could be with somebody else we know.
100%. 100%. I do want to state one last thing real quick. I am looking for a salesman here in San Diego. We're trying to add another one to the team. So anybody wants to move to San Diego, have an opportunity. You'll have a wrap Prius. You'll have all types of other good stuff. And of course, yours truly will coach you how to sell and make you some good,
not only
good
you,
money.
your team, bro. Your guys are dogs.
Absolutely.
They make a killing. Let's just say that.
Dude, my partner alone sells $3.9 million a year by himself.
Take a second for that one.
Yeah, man. And he's been doing that year in and year out. Like, and he loves it, man. He loves estimating, and by himself he does 3.9. And
incredible.
We're trying to get him past that 4 mark by himself, right? But
I know.
Now we're starting to we're like, dude, you need to be more like a sales manager and let us teach other sales reps so you could buy back time. So that's where we're at with him now.
At PaintCon, he's like, I'm selling 5. I'm like, here we go. It's dopamine. Andy Elliott got him going crazy.
Yeah, man. He's not going to sleep then, dude.
He's capable. That's the funny thing.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, bro. You want to wrap us up? This is a good
awesome.
one.
Yeah. Let me actually, I think I have a nice little real quick here. Where am I at? I got a quote I'd like to share with you guys real quick. Where am I at here? Your mind is a canvas, and every thought is a brushstroke. We don't just change your thoughts, we repaint your reality.
Damn.
Put a lot of thought in that one. So
that's you?
Yes, sir.
Damn. You gotta frame that somewhere.
Yeah, I'm trying to get more paint related quotes, things that are hypnotherapy, NLP mixed in with the painting world. Dude. So I'm starting to come up with more quotes and stuff like that.
I'm gonna call you Socrates. I'm about to rename you in my phone, bro.
So yeah, let's get it.
All right, bro. Well, on to the next one. Everybody have an amazing week. Joel, it was a pleasure as always, and we'll talk soon.
My brother.
See you, bro.
All right, guys. Peace.